Hello there! In Lecture Series 11 of Bite-Sized Corporate Reporting, I will look at IAS 10, Events After the Reporting Period. The objective of IAS 10 is to prescribe 1. When an entity should adjust its financial statements for events after the reporting period, and 2. The relevant disclosures an entity should provide about the date the financial statements are authorized for issue and the events after the reporting period. Question: which events fall within the scope of IAS 10? These include favorable and unfavorable events that occur between the end of the reporting period and the date the financial statements are authorized for issue. Thus, events after the financial statements are authorized fall outside the scope of IAS 10. IAS 10 sets out two types of events. 1. Adjusting events, being those that provide evidence of conditions that existed at the reporting period. 2. Non-adjusting events, being those that provide evidence of conditions that arose after the reporting period. An entity shall adjust the amount recognized in the financial statements to reflect adjusting events after the reporting period. In the case of non-adjusting events, no adjustment shall be made in the financial statements. However, additional disclosure may be necessary as this is likely to be of interest to users of financial statements. So, what type of information should be disclosed in the case of non-adjusting events? IAS 10 stipulates that an entity shall disclose the following. 1. The nature of the event, and 2. An estimate of its financial effect or a statement that such an estimate cannot be made. It is important to ascertain if a particular event falls within the scope of IAS 10. If it does, then it's necessary to identify if it's an adjusting or a non-adjusting event. In this example, assuming the burst pipe took place on 26 December 2022, prior to the year end, and the authorization date is 15 April 2023, the subsequent selling price of inventories on 1st March 2023 provides evidence of condition of inventories that existed at the end of the reporting period. Accordingly, the inventory shall be written down to its net realizable value of $35,000. Recognition and measurement of inventories was covered in Lecture Series 9. On the other hand, if the burst pipe occurred on 26 January 2023, which is after the year end, this provides evidence of conditions that arose after the reporting period. Thus, the event is non-adjusting. However, the entity should make the necessary disclosure if it's considered to be material. IAS 10 specifically stipulates if an entity declares dividends to holders of equity instruments after the reporting period but prior to the financial statements being authorized, the dividend shall not be recognized as a liability as no obligation exists at the end of the reporting period. However, such dividends shall be disclosed in the notes in accordance with IAS 1, Presentation of Financial Statements. Additionally, IAS 10 stipulates if management determines after the reporting period either it intends to liquidate or cease trading or it has no realistic alternative but to do so, an entity shall not prepare financial statements on a going concern basis. This is an exception, as although the event provides evidence of conditions that arose after the reporting period, the entity is required to adjust the carrying value of assets and liabilities to reflect that it's no longer a going concern. IAS 10 requires an entity to disclose the date when the financial statements were authorized for issue and who gave the authorization. Also, if the entity's owners or others have the power to amend the financial statements after issue, this shall also be disclosed. With this, we conclude Lecture Series 11 on IAS 10, Events After the Reporting Period. The next Bite-Sized Corporate Reporting Lecture Series will look at IAS 37, Provisions, Contingent Liabilities and Contingent Assets. Till the next lecture series, thank you and have a nice day.